Oh yeah, so our last class we did quinoa burgers, garlic fries, potato fries, and homemade ketchup. So if you didn't get those recipes, let me know, or write your name on the sign-in sheet there, and I'll get you that recipe. This month we're doing breakfast. How many of you guys make it part of your day every day? You get to get a good breakfast. Well, before we start, let's just have a quick word of prayer. How's that to start with that? Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day of life, and we thank you for this opportunity to learn more about healthy cooking, to take care of our bodies, and we pray that you be with us and help us to learn more and to apply it in our lives. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. So breakfast, you heard this before, most important meal of the day. So many different reasons why. And on the back of your recipes, I have some reasons, some of those reasons why. It says here that it's important for everyone, but especially for our children. You know, they grow so fast, and you want to make sure that you're giving them the right food. So breakfast is most important. It helps them with their grades, helps them with concentration, helps them with everything that they're going to do during their time of their lives. And then the second paragraph says it should be 1/3 to 1/2 of your calorie intake for the whole day. And so that's why it should be a pretty large meal compared to all the other meals. Lunch is a little smaller, dinner even smaller. I wasn't always like this. I went to Weimar for some training a couple years ago, and when I got there, I saw these high school kids who were pretty thin, young, active, hyperactive, and when I got there, their breakfast plates looked like that. They were carrying their trays and it was covered with fruits and all these things, and I couldn't even eat half of what they were eating. But as time went by, I would add a little more to my plate, and by the end of the 4 months course, I could eat a big breakfast. And it really helped because throughout the whole day, I wouldn't be hungry, I would have a lot of energy. Lunchtime wouldn't be until about 2 o'clock, and this helped me to do everything that I need to get done. So we're going to do breakfast. And the last reason is, well, not reason, but the last thing I talk about in the Bible is a lot of people skip breakfast. There's a lot of different reasons why. Some of the main ones are time, I don't have time, I have to go to work, get up early, no time for breakfast. Others is I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm cutting back on all my meals. I just don't feel hungry when I get up. I'm not hungry, this coffee and donut is perfect for me now, and I'm out the door. But they did studies that those that tend to have those small breakfasts tend to snap and eat more throughout the day. And they end up gaining weight rather than losing weight, which they're trying to do. Other people, they aren't hungry, maybe because their meal at nighttime is a little late or it's a little big. So try to eat earlier, make that dinner light so that when you wake up, you are hungry. Another thing you could do is go for a short walk. Exercise increases metabolism, and I'm sure it makes everybody hungry when you exercise. So a short walk in the morning, right before breakfast. For our health, we have to make sacrifices, waking up a little earlier to prepare that big breakfast, or you can have it prep the night before maybe. I like to do crock pots. You can make hot cereal in the crock pot, do it overnight, you wake up, it's already ready. Add some fruits to it, have some toast. It's a pretty good sized breakfast right there. So let's get started. First thing we have is breakfast burrito. Have any of you made tofu scrambles before? Yeah. It's similar to tofu scrambles, but you're just adding a few other things to make it taste like a breakfast burrito. So, as you can see, you see all the things that you're going to need. I have here extra firm organic tofu. You can get it at Sprouts or any other health food stores. Then you have garlic cloves. You want to mince that up really fine. It doesn't say it there, but mince it up, the garlic cloves. 1 diced red onion. Some people might say, what size? You want to try to, it says here 1 cup, so you want to equal to 1 cup. 1 cup of diced potato. It's about a medium-sized potato. Nutritional yeast flakes. They have it at Sprouts in these containers. You can get it in where all the grains and flours are in the aisle, or the aisle with soy sauce, but it's usually by the bulk foods. You can also get it in bulk near where the peanuts and everything else, and the rice and beans, and get it in bulk. But this container is good, it'll keep it sealed. They also have bigger containers that sprouts. So then you have chickenish. Chickenish seasoning. It's a vegetarian chicken seasoning that you can make soups with, but you can also season your food with. You can find this at the Christian bookstore in Paradise Valley, and the card is over there on that table. If you haven't been there, or if you need the phone number, you can call for the hours. The card is over there on that table, and you can get some chickenish. I haven't found it at other stores, but yeah, so it's either at the Christian bookstore or online. Then you have ground turmeric. That'll give the color to make it look like scrambled eggs. Turmeric is a good anti-inflammatory. Then you have minced fresh basil. You can also use dry, but fresh would be really tasty when you have the fresh basil. And you have fresh cilantro. Lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, paprika, ground cumin, and sea salt. A little bit of sea salt for taste. You don't have to put it. I think it'll be just fine without it. But if you need a little more flavor, add a little bit of sea salt. Now this recipe, when I found it online, I had to improvise a little. I tried it when I first found the recipe, what the recipe was, and then I decided to add the paprika and ground cumin. That's the thing when you're cooking, you can add whatever you want to it. You look up a recipe online, try it. If you don't like it, you can add your own flavor to it. And just be creative. You can always add things, but you can't take it away, so be careful with that. So you have your skillet or wok pan. Heat it up. And I don't use oil, so I just put a little bit of water. Just use water to cover the whole bottom of the pan so that the vegetables won't stick. As you continue to cook, the water will drop. It won't be soggy or anything. The water will be absorbed by the food, and it'll be really good. Now you have less fat in this meal. You can add, first thing you're going to add is the garlic and the onions. You're going to let that stir fry for a little bit, for a few minutes. So you're going to stir that around, and if you need more water, you just add a little water. Add little by little. So you have it on medium high right now. Just let it saute for a little bit. And while this is going on, what you want to do is, I don't have the tools for that right now, but if you have a tofu press, some people have tofu press to press the water out of the tofu, or you can just place the tofu on a plate and then place a couple more plates on it, or pan, some weight, and it will drain the water, more water out of the tofu, and it'll be more firm, more like scrambled eggs. So you have that sitting for a little while, so for about 20 minutes. Drain the water, have that ready on the side, and while that's going, you're going to let it saute just for a few minutes. I think that should be enough. Then you're going to add the potatoes. Potatoes are going to take a while. Now the potatoes, when you dice them up, make sure they're pretty good size, pretty small. Are they cooked? These are not cooked. The smaller the better, because they'll cook faster. If you have them in big chunks, it'll take a while to cook. So some people, they put the potatoes in water, let it sit in the water for a little while, and that helps soften it up. But just keep it small, and it'll cook according to the recipe, which is about 12 minutes. Letting it sit for about 12 minutes. So while that is sauteing for 12 minutes, I'm going to set my timer, and I'm going to show you how to make the pudding on the back. Now it's very simple. Easy. Are there any questions so far about this recipe? Or as far as what I've done so far? Alright.
You said the water just a little bit, just to cook the pan, correct?
Yes. And then as it's being being sauteed, you'll see at some point water will start to dissolve. You can just add a little more, just so all the vegetables don't get stuck. Okay, so I'm going to show you the pudding recipe. You're just going to need 6 strawberries, 2 tablespoons of chia seed. You can also get it at Sprouts. They have it in the section. You're going to see this brand, Bob Red Mill. In one of the aisles, you're going to see just a bunch of his stuff in these bags, and you'll find the chia seeds there. They also have it in bulk at Sprouts. So, first thing you want to do with this is just put 2 tablespoons of chia seed in a bowl about this size. Vanilla, almond milk, and strawberries. The strawberries in there. And this is another recipe I had to, you also have a banana. I had to improvise. Because when I did it with it called just for strawberries. When I did that, it was a little bitter, and it was a little thick, it was a little watery. And so I used a banana to make it a little more thick. It also make it a lot more sweeter. And if you still don't like the flavor, then you can add a little bit of vanilla. Now with this pudding recipe, you can use all kinds of different fruits. You can use blueberries, raspberries, and the chia seed is what makes it thick. Just fresh fruits. I'm not too sure. I haven't tried it. You probably could. Okay, so you have 1 banana, 6 strawberries, half a cup of almond milk. And you have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now this is pure vanilla extract, folks. Vanilla extra, yeah, we all like vanilla, right? I'm not used to using measuring spoons. Alright, so then chia seeds there. And just dump it over the chia seeds. You stir it right when you're done. Wait, then let it sit for about 2 minutes. And then you're going to stir it again. After you stir the second time, you're going to cover it and let it sit for about 20 minutes. It's going to become thick. And then if you're not going to serve it right away, you can put it in the refrigerator to keep it cold and then serve it. Yes. So after it thickens up, and then you can just put it in little cups, containers. The recipe said not to put it in the refrigerator, but when I did it, it only got thicker and cold, and there was no problem with that. If you want to speed up the process, put it in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and it'll make it a little thicker, and it'll be really cold by then. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes, so still got some more time to go. Now we can easily move to the dressing for the fruit salad. The second recipe is going to be a fruit salad. With the fruit salad, you can use whatever fruits you want. You know, cut the fruits up. cut your fruits up into bite size, put it into a big bowl, mix it up, and this dressing will give it some flavor. And all it is one banana, juice from one lemon, a small lemon, and some almond milk. No. So you can just put the banana, and then we're going to have a little bit of strawberry taste of this dressing. And again, you can add whatever fruits you want. Some people, they put a little bit of pineapple. That makes this recipe pretty good as well. Put some vanilla, some blueberries. And the milk, you're going to put it just to where it covers the bananas. Because it doesn't have a measurement on the recipe, but just cover the bananas and that should be fine. See, now it's getting a little stuck, so you just add a little water. Pineapple juice or fresh pineapples, that's another... Oh no, it's not. I was just saying that you can add whatever you want to this dressing, but this one is just bananas and lemon. Two bananas. And if you have some bananas that look like this, perfect. You know, it's a little sweeter. Add it to the dressing. Some people make banana bread, banana pancakes, but because of that, it's a little sweeter. Use these for the banana dressing. You want to use these for the salad. It's not going to look very nice, but. So it's going to be a little, kind of like a yogurt texture. Now what I like to do when I make my fruit salad, is on the recipe I put it there, what you can use it with. I make my fruit salad. Put the dressing on, and sometimes I use granola or raw oats, and I just put it into my fruit salad with the dressing, and the oats become soft. Just keep mixing it, let it sit for a little bit. It's really good to go with your fruit salad. You could add chia seeds, you could add coconut flakes, raisins, you know, be creative. Add all kind of things to your fruit salad. You can also just taste the potato, when it's soft, then it's ready to go. If it's not, cook it a little longer. It's still a little hard. Or you can use cooked potatoes, it'll be a lot quicker, it would take a lot of time, yeah. Save a lot of time. Okay. Let me see. So these breakfast burritos, in one burrito you will have 22 grams of protein. So it's really packed with protein. I don't think it says it there. Say it there. I used whole wheat tortillas. And for the pudding, you don't have to use the banana. You could use honey, agave, or blackstrap molasses to sweeten it. I used raw honey before I did the banana, and that worked out great. And that way, it was just strawberry flavored. It wasn't like a banana, strawberry banana flavor. And so you can put your own sweetener. Chia seeds, great source of omega-3. Other than flaxseed, chia seeds are also great for omega-3s. As you can see, it gives more than 100% of what we need. So that's just from, I think it's 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons. Good for calcium, phosphorus, manganese, and a good dietary fiber. And it has kind of like a tapioca flavor. When you're eating this pudding, so it's kind of like a tapioca pudding, but it's chia seed. Okay. They say breakfast is like, they compare it to when you take a road trip. When you take a road trip, you want to make sure you fill up your tank. And you don't want to start out your road trip with a quarter tank. You're going to end up filling up every so often. And so if you fill up your tank in the morning, it'll get you throughout most of your day. Give you the energy, keep your blood sugars at a good level. Now it's starting to get soft. With your tofu, you can use a potato masher to get it all mashed up. Or you can just cut it into small little cubes. Sometimes you can just use your hands and crumble it up into a bowl, and that'll help. Alright, so it's about 12 minutes. Now it's probably not ready yet, but you add the tofu, you add the seasonings, and it's going to continue to cook. You can add everything little by little. The nutrition yeast flakes and the turmeric is really going to give the color. Nutrition yeast flakes has kind of like a cheesy flavor to it. People like it to use it with popcorn. You can even make cheese with it. Cashews and nutrition yeast flakes, garlic powder, onion powder. Put it in a blender. We have some vegan cheese. As you can see, this way it might take a little longer. If you have a potato masher, it's quick. And then you got the seasonings, chickenish, and then you may want to add a little water. In this recipe, I didn't put the salsa and everything, but it's on the bottom where it says toppings. There's other toppings you can put on your breakfast burrito. People like salsa. You put green onions, whatever you'd like to add to it. But I was thinking about making salsa and adding it to it. That's just another recipe and more work. But I tasted this first, and it was good without the salsa. Some people, they think that, the salsa will give it a little more juiciness and whatnot. This recipe is not dry without the salsa. It's really good without it. But yeah, you could add some salsa to it. I also added avocados to these burritos. It's really good. Nutrition yeast flakes, very good for vitamin B12. It's really good on toast. You have some vegan butter and you put it on your toast, and then you add the nutrition yeast flakes. Really good. Sometimes if people like savory oatmeal, put some nutrition yeast flakes in there. Cilantro, basil. Lemon juice. With one recipe, you could probably make about 10 burritos, depending what size your tortillas are. 10 regular size small burritos, breakfast burritos. So this turmeric is going to really change the color of the food here. When I first made tofu scrambles for my father, he thought it was real scrambled eggs. And if you're not really paying attention and you're just eating your food, you make it the right way, it's just like scrambled eggs. Add some vegetables to it. So now, it's been past 2 minutes. You can see it's getting thick. It'll get a little thicker when you put it in the refrigerator. And so after you stir it after the 2 minutes, you'd want to cover it and just let it. You probably could put it in the refrigerator and just let it sit, but I didn't experiment with that. But you can just cover it and leave it out for 20 minutes and then put it in the fridge to chill. But if your fruits, your milk, are cold already, it'll stay pretty cold even after the 20 minutes. Okay. Then you have your cumin, paprika, and your sea salt. That's pretty much it. You can add or take away to this recipe, whether you like basil or not. Cilantro is very good for you. It gives a lot of flavor. So does the basil. It's mainly the basil and the cilantro giving these flavors. Even the cumin, I really like the flavor of cumin. So when it comes to some people, they're trying to watch their blood pressure and salt intake and other things like that. There's so many spices, other spices you can use to give it food flavor, other than salt. And so nutritional yeast flakes is kind of like a substitute for salt. You can use a lot of it because it's really low in sodium. So nutritional yeast flakes you can use as a substitute. And then you have so many other spices to go, spices and herbs to season your food. And that's pretty much it. So in about 30 minutes, you've made breakfast. You have some breakfast burritos. You have a fruit salad, which I didn't cut, so that'll take some time, about 5-10 minutes. And then you have the dressing. You have the pudding, which is going to chill if you want, or you can, if you want it right then and there, you can have it then. But it didn't take that long. It would have been quicker. The tofu is 12 ounces. 12 ounces of tofu. It's a normal size block tofu. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then when you roll it, I can show you an example of rolling it. Actually, I can't. I don't have any more tortillas. But what you can, you want to put 3/4 of a cup onto the tortilla. You can fold the ends in and then roll them, or you can fold the bottom, roll them, and leave the top open so you can add your toppings and whatnot. There's different ways. Some people just fold it like a top loaf and eat it, whatever you like. But that's pretty much it. Are there any questions on these recipes?
Can you use soy milk instead of almond milk, or does it give a different?
No.
Does it make a difference?
Texture wouldn't be a difference. You can use rice milk, coconut milk, any other milks. Flavor might change. This one is unsweetened vanilla. They have original with no sweetener in it. But yeah, any non-dairy milk could do. One thing about the soy milk, I think Eric knows a little more about this than me, but there's an ingredient in a lot of soy milks called carrageenan. And it's a seaweed that they use in a lot of different foods. It's kind of like it's for texture, I think, to make it a little make things a little thicker. But what is the reason behind it again?
Well, I've read some things where some people have digestive problems, and I've even found people that have tumors caused by, they think, carrageenan. But you can get soy milks without carrageenan.
Yeah, there's some without them.
Just that it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's used to have more without it, but now they're harder.
A-G-E-A-N. Carrageenan.
Genan, G-E-N-A,
Genan,
N-A-A-N or N-A, whatever.
Carrageenan.
You've seen it, probably seen it, yeah. It's made from the sea. You would think it's all right because it comes from seaweed, but it's something that's processed.
The silk almond milks don't have them, but there's some almond milks that do have them. Silk soy milk has them. I don't know if all the flavors, but silk soy milk has it. But almond milk.
Chicken seasoning, are you using K's? Can you use that?
Yeah. The only thing with the McKay's, it's a little higher in sodium, but you could use it. Maybe just use a little less. Bill's Best, chickenish. Bill's Best, and then this is chickenish. Yeah. So if you guys want to come and look at them later, I have them right here. But yeah, breakfast is super important. My favorite meal of the day. Since it's most of your calories, lunch, you don't really have to focus too much on it. Dinner, you don't have to worry about cooking when you get home from work and whatnot. But making breakfast the most important meal. Prepping it ahead of time, having make a large amount. I usually cook for myself. I'm the only vegan in my house, so when I cook, I'm used to cooking for my family. So I cook a large amount and then I just put them in containers and have them ready for the week.
Can you freeze these?
Which one?
Or the breakfast burritos?
Sure, I don't see why not. Probably could.
Try it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be the
we
same.
try it.
It wouldn't be the same if it's fresh. And the tofu.
The
Yeah.
tofu.
And the herbs.
But you probably refrigerate it and it'll last for several days, or at least for a week. Because when I have just tofu scrambles, I have it for breakfast maybe 3 times a week, and I'll make only one batch, and I can have that for 2 or 3 times during the week, so it does last. Oh yeah, you can put some bell peppers in here. That's what I was going to say. Bell peppers, tomatoes, yeah, yellow and red makes people really hungry. So I should have put those bell peppers.
So let me ask about the sour cream.
Sour cream.
That's not very good stuff in there.
It is, I guess, like if you worry about fat, you want to have that in moderation. It depends on what ingredients are in there, but yeah, it's fat, it's oil and stuff like that. But, so the vegan cheeses, the vegan butter, vegan sour cream,
How about vegan gourmet?
those you want in
You
moderation.
like that? Vegan gourmet. Cheddar cheese.
Oh, like the blocks? Yeah. I've seen it before.
Good stuff in there.
I think even with those, yeah, if they're mostly natural ingredients in moderation,
It's not
yeah. So with those products, those are really good for people trying to make that transition from vegetarian to vegan. And you want to give them those things and they'll be happy, but eventually take it out of their diet or just have it in moderation. Because some people go crazy with the diet cheese and vegenaise, and it's used every day and it should be used in moderation. Did everybody sign in and get a recipe? Okay. I do want to mention that there's that container over there that says love offering. You folks run this cooking class. Without you guys, there wouldn't be a cooking class. The money that you folks donate goes to everything that you receive every month, the food, the recipes. And in the future, I plan to have maybe some raffles. Once in a while, we'll have some raffles and things you can win, and make sure your money is going to you guys. So please remember that. And also in the future, I'm planning on having hands-on cooking classes where you guys can put stuff together while I'm doing it. We can work together. Some people learn best when it's hands-on. And so one of them is veggie sushi. We're going to do veggie sushi and roll it, cut it. It's a little hard at first, it gets messy, but we'll do that. There's fresh spring rolls put together. A lot of those hands-on, quick, raw foods. We can do raw foods. Those are easiest. So we give everybody a stove with extension cords going all over the place. We'll do fresh and raw hands-on recipes. And if you guys ever have suggestions or things you want to learn, recipes you want to learn, type of cooking, any questions, you can just write them on a piece of paper and leave it there, or tell it to me, and I'll give you the answers in the next cooking class. Chickenish? Have some? Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, okay, that's a really good idea, yeah. So have the chickenish, things that aren't available in the stores, mainly the chickenish, okay. Okay, yeah, that's great.
In your pressure cooker in the morning, when you put oats in, what do you put in the pressure cooker overnight?
You can get a lot of different hot cereals at Sprouts. They have it in bulk. Some of them have already mixed, like a 9-grain hot cereal. You can just get that one. Put it in the pressure cooker overnight. Depending on what hot cereal it is, some of them are 1 to 3 ratio of water. 1 cup of hot cereal, 3 cups of water. And some are just 1 to 2. But so it depends what you're putting in there. But you can put some oats mixed with rolled oats. Yes, the rolled oats, and then you have a lot of different hot cereals, barley, even some some grains.
Rolled oats are healthier for you?
They're more the raw form, hasn't really been processed. So, steel cut oats, yeah. Steel cut oats also. Barley and then wheat. So many different ones. You go to the bulk section and have all these grains. Just mix them up, put them in the slow cooker. You put a little salt, depending if you want it savory or sweet. Then you just add your seasonings, let it cook overnight. Wake up, you just add some toppings, maybe a little bit of almond milk, and you're ready to go. And you can make it in bulk also. So, with that being said, we're gonna start serving you guys. So, food will be out in a second. We're ready.
Oh, those are big. Those are big. Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. I think there's some people who like to spice. Put a little chili in it.
Oops. Why did I do that?
And here comes the fruit salad. Yeah, since my surgery a couple weeks ago, I haven't been able to go back to eating the same amount. And so when I first got out of the hospital, I had a hard time because I loved eating big breakfasts. So I couldn't do that for a while, and I could just have really small portions, and I had to eat them throughout the day. And it was hard for me because my appetite was still the same,